Go ahead. This is Coach Kempy, Chris Kempton. I'm Coach Hill. We're here with a veteran, huh, Coach?
Yes, with a veteran. So welcome, guys. Coach Kempton here with SouthernChillFootball.com and System Overload. We have a very special, this is week 3 of our vlogs. We have a very special guest this week, a guy who has 40 years plus coaching at the collegiate level, at the high school levels, a coach who continuously gives back to the game. He and I spent 10 years together coaching at the college level, coached with him underneath him at the high school level. He's my best friend. He was instrumental in researching and installing our version of the 3-3 stack 13 years ago now, which is hard to believe. You can follow him, and you want to follow him on Twitter at Coach Cap 77. That's Coach CAP 77. You want to follow this guy. We're on Zoom because he's in Maine, and obviously you can see we're in Florida. We're in Florida. So, guys, I want to introduce to you Coach Skip Capone. Coach.
Hey, fellas, how we doing today? Another great day in Maine, baby. Nothing's changed.
Love it.
No snow on the ground in my backyard, so that's a good thing.
No snow here either.
Fantastic. So, Coach, we just thanks for coming on to Southern Chill Football and sharing some of your time with us. Coach Hill's we'll get a few questions just to ask you to pick your brain. Obviously, as long as you've been in the game and as much as you've seen and places you've been, I think our viewers will really benefit from hearing some things from you. So, Coach, you got a question for?
So, Coach, first question is, why 3-3 stack? So you've been coaching forever. You're in different schemes, and you've decided to use this defense. Why?
When we were at Bates with Chris and I, we were originally a 4-2-5. What do they call it? I guess it was a 4-4 back in the day. But Virginia Tech, and combining that with the Bear, trying to pressure, but everything was man-to-man coverage, and we just could not recruit enough guys that could cover. They would find. There's no different than I did when I'm an offensive coordinator. I'm going to find the neck roll. I'm going to find that guy that can't run, that wants to stay in the box, and I'm going to get a fast guy on him. And if we don't get to the quarterback and they catch the ball, it's touchdown. So we just felt that doing our research at Villanova, that number one, it would fit into the kind of kids we could recruit. We basically just recruited ballers. Size, speed didn't really matter. We was looking for kids that wanted to play hard. We kind of fit them into the scheme. With our ability to move around, whether it was line charges or the blitz game, we were able to use some undersized guys, and it really fit into what we want to do. And it was really different, especially 13 years ago. We were probably one of a handful of teams in the country that ran the 3-3, and maybe other than Villanova, the only 3-3 that played zone concept behind. So we feel, you think about it, you're used to playing some kind of a 4-man front or the traditional 3-4. Now in 2 days, they've got to get ready for a 3-3 stack with as many as 9 guys in the box and a variety of blitz paths, different guys coming, showing on one side, coming from the other. And we really felt it gave us an advantage, and we were able to compete, with some of the best Division III teams in the Northeast with guys that they wouldn't even look at. I mean, when you've got a nose guard, Joey DePalma, that was a converted linebacker that's 5'9", 250, and is productive. I mean, an all-conference linebacker, Kevin Helm, who was 5'9", 205, great lacrosse player, but nobody else wanted to recruit him. And he ended up being an all-NESCAC kid for us because he fit into what we were doing. So it really helped us.
Awesome. Yeah. Coach, you hit it right on the head there with so many of those things with our recruiting. And I think that applies to the high schools too, And, so you've been both in the college game and the high school game. So, for the high school coaches out there, I talked a little bit on a vlog a couple of weeks ago about characteristics, but, from your standpoint, having run this at the high school level as well, what are some advantages for the high school guys?
Well, again, they have 2 or 3 days to prepare for something they haven't got to do. Most teams, the high school level, don't blitz a lot. Obviously, our thought process, we're going to blitz every single down, whether it's 1, 2, whatever we're going to do, and come from different inside, outside, from the field, from the boundary, a variety of different calls. And I think the addition of the wristband really eliminated. I remember going back, Chris, you and I self-scouting ourselves, and two things really stuck out. One, the explosive plays we gave up from being in the 8-man front to the 3-3 reverse. Instead of giving up a bunch of them, we didn't give up many, and we just had a lot of explosive plays. And this, by the same token, the number of mental errors that we had from having to just memorize, that thunder, lightning, whatever it was. Now they look at the wristband, spark. Okay, I know I can do that, and it made it really easy to communicate. And the bottom line is keeping it simple. Our guys just play faster.
Yeah, I think that first year we went from running the 8-man, the Virginia Tech stuff, 101 explosives to like 50. We cut it.
Yeah,
more than
crazy.
Yeah,
and the bottom line is, we still gave up. Obviously, the structural defense, you're going to give up some yards, especially playing a lot of 3 deep, a lot of zone coverage. But by the end of the day, it's about keeping guys out of the end zone. And our point production, we pretty much cut it in half.
Exactly.
That's what we always about the end zone.
Yeah, that's what we always said was, like, make a team drive it 10, 12 plays, because at some point they're going to make a mistake. Teams aren't good enough, especially at the high school level, to drive that many plays and not make a mistake.
And and I know, and a real good friend of ours said this for many, many years, there isn't an offensive coordinator in the country at any level that wants to throw 7 or 8 hitches in a row.
Right.
It's not, they all get greedy. Oh, I'm going to do this and this and this. And all of a sudden they get punched in the mouth. Oh, we knocked the ball down. Now they're behind the sticks. Now what are they going to do? So the bottom line is when you get in the red zone, it's either you stop them completely or you hold them field goals.
Yeah. So Coach, when Coach Kempton taught me this at the high school level, year 2, we set the school record for fewest points allowed. So we went from the year before Chris came, 35 points a game, I think. And what we were at 16 points 2 years later, 16 points a game. Same kids. It's an independent high school, non-recruiting. So going to your point, it's not like we're going out and getting 4, 3, 40 guys.
And it's a goal line to goal line package. You don't have to have a separate goal line package. You can really live with, again, you walk your line, but you do a lot of things, but you're still staying in the same shell. My guys knew they were playing a 0 and 2 5s. We never changed, other than we went to bear. But we're in the 3-3, made it easy from a coaching perspective. Line up in a 5 and be quiet. Just play the game. So it was pretty simple,
All right, Coach, that's awesome. I knew you'd hit a home run with that one. Second question, regardless of scheme, so we've been talking 3-3 here, regardless of scheme, what are you preaching and drilling to your defensive guys?
Well, number one, you got to take pride in the fact the offense has all the advantages. They know the snap count, they can't, whatever. And it's really, I think it's really important. You understand? It's really cool to be able to stop a team from doing what they want to do. Okay. So take pride in that. I think a 1 play at a time mentality is huge. Control 1 play at a time, as long as they're not in the end zone, but we still got a chance. But other than that, it's about getting lined up. You got to be able to get lined up and know what the hell you're supposed to do. Know your assignment. And from there, it's being able to get off blocks, be able to strike, be physical, run to the football with a purpose. Not just guys run around, but if you don't have a purpose and you're not leveraging the ball amongst the other 10 guys in your program, there's going to be a crease. Then when you get there, you just be violent and get up and let's play again.
Coach, you sound like Don Brown.
I don't go there. I and I are good friends, but again, fellas, it's not overly complex. An old adage that I always think about, learned this long time ago, is the more they think, the slower their feet get. So if you can give them just a few things to worry about, and I got to get lined up. I know what my assignment is. I got to do this, this, and this. They're going to play really fast. And at the end of the day, you're getting guys to the ball. The ball ends up on the ground. Good things happen when you play from there.
Awesome, Coach.
What's your favorite Coach Kempton story?
I can't go there.
No.
There are too many. Put it this way, we'll just say we had a lot of fun on our road trips. Actually, I will share one. This is I don't know, you were DC, might have been in the 3-3 at that point, and we set up, we got our individuals drill set up. So Kempy goes, he's going to use the step over dummies. And he doesn't like, the guy doesn't do it right. So he's going to demo. This is literally 5 minutes into our first practice of the season. He breaks his ankle. He's literally in a golf cart on crutches.
Okay, going over the bags.
Yeah, and he is foul for like 9 days. I can't even talk to him. He's miserable. That was probably the best. It really was. That was a good one.
So, Coach, I'm a D-line coach. Been coaching. Yep. I hear you're a D-line coach too.
I've been known to coach a couple of D-linemen in my day.
All right. So, give me your best drills, favorite drills. What are your go-to practice drills?
Okay, I think number one, I think you got to have a drill progression that's relatively short, and you need to be able to see it come out on tape. Okay, I think there are 8,000 different D-line drills out there. Which ones fit what you want your kids to do? That's one thing that we did on defense at Bates is we sat down as a staff by position. We want to have a 5 or 6 drill progression, and that's it. And we're just going to keep getting better and better and better at it. So for me, the bottom line is the defensive lineman, besides obviously getting in a great stance, is it's coming off the friggin' football. You got to have great get up. That's where it starts and ends. You got to be able to get off the ball. And the one that I like is I call it a get off and redirect, where you use the ball on the stick, you use your foot, whatever it is. They come off the ball, really have them shoot their hands. And then about the time they're getting extension, I'm pointing one direction or another. Okay, so I'm a big believer in trying to get 3 or 4 things done in a drill rather than just doing one. So not only do I point, but also that we were also teaching them to pursue. So I wouldn't even have cones set up, but we knew that the 5 technique in that direction was going straight down the line of scrimmage. But I'd have maybe one cone set up 5 or 6 yards. So basically, he's pursuing outside run, bubble screen, jailbreak screen, something out in the perimeter. The nose guard goes in that direction. He redirects, goes in that direction. That's flat down the line of scrimmage. Because again, you're thinking cut back first. And then when he gets to where his buddy was, now he's going to fill in. And we always say, never follow the same color shirt. And I always say, if you're going to make a mistake, be deeper than shallower. So anyway, I give him a landmark of a yard or 2 from the defensive end. And the 5 technique would do the same thing. And then to add something at the end, have them either make a form tackle, like I like using an exercise ball. Maybe they just buzz their feet, come to balance, keep their feet moving, those kinds of things. That way now you're really working on 3 or 4 different important skills at once. And when we go to have our group period with the linebackers, our whole team, and we're going to do a pursuit drill, my guys already know it because it's not going to change. So we're working on get off, redirect, pursuit of the ball, and then make a tackle. And obviously with that, you have the redirect for screen, pass. So you got a whole myriad of things you can do in a relatively short period of time and get 4 or 5 things accomplished. Because again, we're all squeezed for time. Probably more where we were at Bates is very similar to the high school level. You've got maybe on a defensive day, you might have 20 minutes of Indy. Well, you can't spend 20 minutes doing that drill. You got to get maximum number of reps, but all working on 3 or 4 things at the same time. That to me, that's the one that is key to me. You got to have great get off.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement. My drills are always, because of the time constraint, what I call game drills. So I know there's a lot of different type of movement drills you can go and conditioning drills. Every single one of my drills is a rep that you're going to use on Friday night or Saturday if you're in the college game, and not waste. I don't want to say waste any time, but you just don't have that 2 hours or 1.5 hours to do every single thing that you want to do. So I try to make it as game specific as humanly possible, and try to mix in 3 or 4 things at one point. So get off, redirect, strip drill, all in the same rep.
Yeah, Coach Capone was awesome with his guys. The one thing that always drives me nuts about looking at high school kids on film is how poorly they use their hands. And Coach, I mean, quick, just we're running out of time here a little bit, but just quick on, what you did with your guys with striking, with their hand violence, because I thought you were phenomenal teaching that.
We did. I kind of go from real small things to large. I would actually start them in a 2-point stance, and my thought process was they want to have their hands in a good ready position, and as they take a 6-inch step, I wanted them to be at full extension before that foot hit the ground. So it was on air to start with, and from a 2-point stance. So especially with young kids, if you get that 3-point in, they get all messed up, and it's all about hand placement. It's all about strike. It's all about knockback. It's coming off the friggin' ball. I told my guys, I don't worry about you getting reached. I don't worry about you getting cut off. But you got to knock that son of a buck back in the backfield. And then there were things that we did versus the reach and versus the scoop that will put that player in the hole and eliminate that particular gap. But it's just repetition. And again, from there, you go from a 3-point stance, you strike, you fit in, slide your head, and then what do you add after that? You add a ball carrier. So now we've got to tear away, work a steer and rip through all those different things and give them 2 or 3 things in their toolbox where they can get off the block. But the bottom line is getting extension. And the biggest thing with high school kids I found is actually make sure they're grabbing cloth. They don't want to do this. Like they want to put their hands on, grab cloth, control that guy, and then work from there.
Yeah.
And again, same thing. You work a drill, you work and get off, you work and strike, you get off the block, and now you have them execute either a frontal tackle or he's cut off in the C gap and the tailback's coming on outside zone right there, or you run him on a wider angle and he's got to adjust. Again, getting multiple things done in a short period of time. That would be was big for me.
Yeah. Coaches, as you can see, Coach Capone could go on here for like 4 hours.
I got one more I got to talk about, though.
Coach,
I got one more I got to talk about.
If I had your favorite beer delivered to your house, would you do this with us once a month?
I do it every day if you want me to do it for nothing.
I like it.
But no, the other thing that I did that I thought I got this from a couple of different guys is basically going 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, like with the nose guard. But the thing that was important was rather than having those kids in a normal offensive alignment, like right along, but side by side, I took those defensive guys. Say you got a center, and I would step the guards back almost to the back hip of the center. Because again, if it's a little different in high school. But my guys didn't know how to freaking zone block. So now you put them in that advantageous position to make the nose guard is it going to be double team or is it going to be scoop? And we did the same thing with the defensive ends. And I felt that we got a really good look with really bad offensive line guys because they're defensive linemen.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really felt that was important. Again, and you can do the same thing, with your angles and your movements and stuff like that. It doesn't matter having a plan and just getting after it. And really, for young guys, you got to coach from the minute you walk on the field to the minute you're done. And it's the only way I roll.
Yeah, that's awesome. So coaches, at Coach Cap, CAP 77, follow him on Twitter. There's a lot of this stuff that comes out on Twitter from him. He's a wealth of knowledge and loves to share. So anybody that wants to talk football, I think a guy that you can talk to right here.
And
I've got all kinds of I've got my stuff from various levels, both defensive line, schematic stuff, but also a lot of things on special teams. I was special team coordinator at Bates when Chris was the DC, and I got a lot of really good drill. And again, it's very applicable to high school. Again, we were limited in time like you guys are. And I think it's pretty cool stuff. Again, just give me a shout. I always love talking ball.
Awesome. And if you'd like to see Coach Cat here, Southern Chill Football on our YouTube page, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, like the video, help us out. And we can also link from southernchillfootball.com. You'll find his videos as well. But Coach, I really appreciate your time today. Really nice of you, man.
Bro, man, my pleasure.
At some point, we'll get you down here where we can play around.
Absolutely.
Cheers, my brother.